Welcome to the Childcare Director's Chair, the podcast for bold educators who are ready to lead, grow, and shake things up in early childhood education. Whether you're a teacher eyeing that lead role, a lead stepping into leadership, or a center owner dreaming big, this is your space to grow with purpose and leave your mark. Hosted by heart-centered leadership coach Erica Sacosio, each episode brings you real talk, actionable tools, and a contagious laugh or two, all designed to help you step into your next level with confidence. So pour your coffee, pop in those earbuds, and take your seat, because your leadership journey starts right now in the Childcare Director's Chair.
Hey guys, it's Erica here with the Childcare Director's Chair podcast. I am so happy you are tuned in today. We're going to talk about something that we all deal with all day long. And let me ask you this. Did you know that a single toy in a child care classroom can carry hundreds and thousands of germs by the end of the day? Because we know young children explore the world with their hands, with their mouths, and everything in between. They share toys, tables, sensory bins, and learning spaces, all which can quickly become highways for bacteria and viruses. And for childcare directors and early education leaders, this creates a big responsibility. How do we keep classrooms clean, safe, and healthy without overwhelming our staff or exposing children to harsh chemicals? Today, we're diving into the science and best practices behind sanitation in early childhood programs and exploring new technologies that may change the way that programs protect children and staff. And today, we are joined with Cynthia Gallagher, and she is with Global Pure Technologies. And we're going to talk a little bit about some of the products that she has, most particularly the Zono cabinet. But I'm going to let her tell you a little bit about herself and her company, and then we're going to dive into it. So welcome to the show, Cynthia.
Thank you so much, Erica. I just want to say how grateful I am to be invited on your podcast, the Child Care Director and the Director Chair. And it's just a pleasure for me. And I have been working with child care since 2019 due to joining as a representative for Zono Technologies, and which introduces the wonderful and easy disinfecting and sanitizing of all the little tiny toys, blankets, even the big items like mats, cribs, all of those types of items can be very easily disinfected and sanitized.
So let's talk. Why do germs spread so quickly in childcare centers? Maybe what directors should consider when we think about what's best practice for sanitation and the difference between maybe cleaning, sanitizing, and disinfecting. So talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it just easily, the germs spread so quickly because kids share toys and they touch their faces, they put their hands in their mouths, and they spread a lot of germs. Their immune systems are developing at this time. So it's very natural for children to get more colds in the very beginning, and then their immune system gets stronger. But in the interim, they're all together. They spread their germs through just playing with toys, playing with the same stuffed animals, the cuddling up to their favorite blankie, all of those types of things.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And cleaning, like you said, there is a big difference in cleaning as opposed to disinfecting and sanitizing. Cleaning is what we generally will do in our household, and wiping things and dust and dirt and so forth. But disinfecting is a process whereas you are destroying bacteria and viruses. Sanitizing reduces and eliminates the pathogen agents such as bacteria. So the Zono cabinet, it using ozone, has a process where it 99.9% of all of the common viruses and bacteria, and it's been studied and tested, and it kills them, and it gets rid of those horrible germs, especially like RSV, influenza A, staph, MRSA, E. coli, even salmonella poisoning, things of that nature that are infectious, and it will kill the infectious diseases.
Yeah. I remember last year, thank God it didn't happen this year. Last year, hand, foot, and mouth was like rampant. It was
Yes.
rampant across the country. It was
Yes.
rampant. Yeah.
That's when we were at the Connecticut
Mm-hmm.
show together,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone kept coming up to me and talking about it.
Yeah.
Some of the sites that already have the Zono cabinet said, "Hey, we got rid of our hand, foot, and mouth. We keep using the Zono, because it keeps coming in as the kids come in the room each day. All those new germs start. So that's
Yeah.
nice preventative." To use the cycle and to disinfect and sanitize all those toys and items, even cell phones, those little tablets. Some of the centers have, learning programs where they're on tablets all day long. And on a cell phone and a tablet have 10 times as much germs on it than the top of a toilet seat.
Yeah.
So putting that in there helps to eliminate and prevent infection.
Yeah. And then, it's not just the kids too. Staff illnesses, because when your staff are sick, then you have staffing shortages. I mean, we already deal with that now, right? But then you get 3 or 4 teachers that are sick, forget it, right? You're closing down classrooms, you're disrupting families. And then of course, when you have illnesses that keep coming, then you have concern from families, wondering about like, what are you guys doing about it? How are you preventing it? So yeah, and directors, we have to maintain a clean, healthy environment. And it's more than just compliance, it's about protecting your entire community. So it's really, really important. Yeah.
Absolutely. And if I may add, one of a child care owners, she owns 3 schools in Colorado. And she said after 9 months, child illness was down 70%. Teacher illness was down 90%.
Wow.
And she even stated, if you don't spend the money now on the Zono cabinet, which
Spending it later.
Yeah, you're getting all these substitutes to come in because when your teachers are sick, then they go home and their families become sick. Their children are sick. So even if they feel better, they have to stay home with their children.
Oh my God.
It's just
I know. I remember that during COVID. I feel like if a teacher got sick or the kid got sick, you knew that teacher was out for the month. You knew you might as well just write it off now. But thank God we're still not in those days. But yeah, I mean, and all that exposure to exposure and then who you knew that was exposed and all that. But, many programs rely on traditional cleaning approaches such as soap and water, bleach solutions, chemical disinfectants. While those methods can work, they often come with challenges. They can be time consuming for staff. At strong chemical exposure can certainly be a concern, and cleaning dozens or even hundreds of toys daily can feel impossible. Best practice really does talk about frequent sanitization of shared toys and regular disinfection of high-touch surfaces. Safe procedures that protect children and staff are, very important. So is there a smarter way to do this? It is. Talk to us a little bit, like, how does this cabinet work? Can you break it down a little bit for us?
Sure. Once you lock the cabinet, what happens is inside the cabinet, the demand ozone and humidity, there's only less than an ounce of water inside, and that is generated, and it disinfects and sanitizes this combination of 99.9% of the viruses and bacteria to reduce offensive odors. Once all of that, the water and the air is drawn together, it creates ozone. And in the ozone, at that point, the contact with the dangerous pathogens, which is the third oxygen in the Zono, it becomes unstable and it's absorbed by the dangerous pathogen, thereby eliminating the dangerous pathogen. And then the ozone is safely converted back to oxygen, completing the cycle. Unlike bleach and other harsh liquid chemicals, ozone does not have to be rinsed, sprayed into the environment, nor does it have to be wiped off. The cabinet also is sustainable. It only uses 3 cents of electricity, which is plugged into a regular household plug. And other than the 2 big units, Generally, the single door and the double door are what the childcare use. There's no fumes, there's no noise, there's no wiping. I actually had staff from the other childcare schools, and when I was in Connecticut, bringing over their new director that they said, this is the product I want you to get. We won't have to put the items in the dishwasher or wash the Legos by hand and then drying them or air drying them overnight. Saves so much time. And the staff are, at the end of the day, they're exhausted because they're giving all their love and care to these children. And then they have to stop and clean all of these items, even if you have another cleaning company come in, or some do, just to do that because it's quite tasking. And here all day long, the staff is just putting these carts full of toys and Legos and blankets and mats and cell phones and whatever in the cabinet, and 38 minutes, everything's done. They roll out another cart, somebody else rolls their in. By the end of the day, when the children leave, they're finished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say too, like, just as somebody who gives tours all the time, the parents now are much more, so they have a lot more information. And I see, like, a lot of the babies that come in, a lot of them are breastfed. A lot of them have organic food that the parents are making, from home, from scratch. I feel like, they're concerned about the chemicals that their children are exposed to a lot more now. I mean, I've been doing this 27 years, but those questions are asked a lot more frequently now than they were 15 years ago, right? We have a lot of organic families that really are in tune with, the environment, and as they should be. But I do think that it's a great selling feature on top of being just great for your school community, but a great selling feature too, because obviously it is an investment and not every center on the block is going to have it. So if you're looking to know some things that can help you differentiate, couldn't get that out right, from your competitors, this could be one of those things. But before we continue our conversation with Cynthia, I want to give a pause for a minute. We created this podcast to share knowledge, spark conversations, and help educators and leaders grow in their practice. And because we all learn from each other, we all become stronger educators. And you know who else is passionate about helping you grow as a professional? Our friends at Delaware State University. They are a proud sponsor of this podcast and the Early Childhood Empowerment Conference. So if you're looking to advance your career or deepen your knowledge in early childhood education, then Delaware State University offers innovative programs designed specifically for educators who want to lead, grow, and make a bigger impact. And they are so committed. They are actually our lunch sponsor on Friday at the Early Childhood Empowerment Conference. We really, really thank them so much for their support. We wouldn't be able to have great episodes like we are having today or wonderful conversations without their support. So let's get back to our conversation with Cynthia. So one of the challenges I think directors face is finding solutions that are effective, safe, and realistic for busy classrooms. So that's why companies like yours are so helpful. Now, you don't just sell Zono. You have some other products as well. So let's talk a little bit about some of the other products that you offer to early childhood programs.
Yes. We also have a first aid kit that has over 200 items in it, specifically made for disaster relief. Of course, you can use it daily as well. Hopefully you don't need to use it daily, but there are falls and cuts and things like that that happen throughout the day. We also have all types of items. We have a solar generator in case of a storm or something that happens. If for some reason the poles go down, the electrical lines, you have an opportunity for electricity to, for the solar generator. Then we have items such as food that will, you could buy food that will for a year. That way, if for some reason you would need something like that, and any other types of situations, such as if there's a flood or something of that nature, and all of your items are wet, instead of getting rid of them, the Zono cabinet can actually, can really kill the mildew the mold and, on clothing, on furniture, all types of products. And, it goes on and on. We have all kinds of disaster preparedness types of products to help in any type of situation like that, or just to keep on hand.
Okay. So you're really like, I'm gonna give you your own title. I think like when I think about you, I think safety ambassador because you're killing the germs, you're making sure the first aid is in check. And, right now, you've got the generators and you've got the food. So, if there's an emergency that's about to happen, you are definitely a girl that we need to know. So,
Well, thank you.
yeah, of course, of course. And I think, we all can really see the benefits of having a cabinet. It's less chemical exposure in your classrooms on top of saving the money there because God knows those things are very expensive, right? Syntest
Yeah.
comes in every other week to refill your chemicals. It gets expensive.
Oh, yeah.
It saves time for your teachers. You have that constant sanitation practices going on, healthier environment for the children and the staff and directors managing busy programs. Solutions like this can really help you simplify your SOPs
Yes,
for sanitation, right?
absolutely.
So and maintaining those strong health standards. So
Oh, and one other thing, Erica, I forgot to tell you this. This is very exciting. We now have fundraiser ideas, and they have been used by other childcare. And the parents want this product so much, and they raised all the money for the product beforehand. Now we also have the conventional financial lending types of credit possibilities for those who want to finance it, and that can be anywhere from $200 to $400 to $600 a month. Depending upon what size model they get.
Sure.
But there are all these other practices, and I'm always looking for any type of grants that may be available for each state. So if there are things available for your state, I will look it up and I'll send it to you.
Okay. All right. So is there anything that I didn't ask you that you want to share?
I think we pretty much covered everything, especially what you said at the end with saving so much time and so much money. Anyone that gets the Zono cabinet, I know it's a big investment. It's a capital investment. It lasts this cabinet has a projected time frame of over 25 years. So if you take that investment, then it actually saves you so much money and so much time. And you feel much better because inside all the Legos, inside the stuffed animals, even with batteries in them, inside your laptops or your cell phones and all the electronic devices that the children use, any of those, you can feel confident that you've done everything that you can to reduce all those horrible pathogens.
Yeah. Well, you feel better because you are not sick. That's why you feel better.
That's right.
That is why. All right, one more really hard-pressing question. What's your favorite kind of ice cream?
I like cherry.
Oh, cherry's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Well, thank you for being such a great sport. And I'm so excited that I get to be the first podcast that you've ever been on. So that's exciting. Thank you so much. For the folks that are listening, if you're passionate about strengthening your leadership and creating healthier environments for your children, we invite you to come join us at this incredible event on Saturday, May 9th at the Crown Plaza, the Early Childhood Empowerment Conference here in beautiful Warwick, Rhode Island. You can meet the wonderful Cynthia. We have folks from all over the country coming. We have sold out on Thursday and Friday, so we still have Saturday available. So come join us. Saturday is a great day anyway. We've got all of the vendors. We've got 5 different tracks, 5 different sessions. You can pick from 25 speakers. We have live podcasts going on, book signings going on, raffles going on. You don't want to miss it. So link is below. As always, guys, thank you for tuning in, and we are out. Have a great day.
Hi, thank you.
That's a wrap for this episode of the Childcare Director's Chair, where we believe leaders aren't born, they're grown. If something sparked for you today, share it, shout it out, or pass it along to the next bold changemaker in childcare. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and stay connected with Erica Sakosio for more real talk leadership tools and a whole lot of inspiration. Until next time, lead with heart, grow with fire, and always remember, the chair is yours. Now own it.